This is just John O, and today I'm here to talk about you are actually closer than you think, and you're much closer to whatever um, stage in your life you want to get to. Even if you're not goal orientated and you're not task orientated every day, but you still get things done, you're closer to, I'd say, even relationships you'd like, friendships, business partnerships. You could be mastering a skill and a craft. And the reason I say you're closer than you think is because I've noticed this with creating this channel. The more volume I make of videos and the more content I post isn't necessarily the reason why I'm getting better. The reason I'm getting better at making these videos in this channel is A, of course, the consistency and the volume can help, but I'd rather actually talk about how it's more so let's just say the title of what I'm talking about, and it's the content of what I'm talking about, right? Because if you've noticed, I've heard this one example in this one book, Atomic Habits, and it talks about how you can actually do a lot of volume, and let's just say if you take one attempt compared to 100 attempts, one perfect attempt would fail, obviously, compared to 100 bad attempts, because then eventually you'll succeed. But what I'm noticing is that the more attempts you take, sometimes the worse you might get at something, because let's just say you want to practice at something. I'm practicing at a sport at the moment, and if I keep practicing at that sport, but the way I'm practicing is that I'm actually not learning from my mistakes from the past times that I've practiced and played, I'm not going to get better. So, a small example would be I usually would be practicing alone, but the better thing to do, and this is what I'm going to start to do, is to practice in a big group and then actually have a social aspect going with playing the sport, because whenever it comes to me practicing alone, I do practice, but I don't practice as long as I'd like to, and I don't practice as well as I'd like to. Now, this has to do with what I was saying about you're closer than you think, because I'm closer than I think when it comes to actually joining said group and actually becoming closer with people so that I can actually hone in on my craft. Another reason I'm saying you're closer than you think is because now it's about maybe almost summer, right? So let's just say you started in the beginning of the year, you had like your New Year's resolution, and now would be the time that you're gonna actually see some sort of flourishing to happen. And another reason I'm gonna say that you'll see flourishing happening is because if you've started in January, it's been a couple months now, maybe like, so it's been about four or 5 months now, and those 4 or 5 months can actually show you a lot of exponential growth, and it can actually show you that when you do something that is you wanting something badly enough, you'll actually end up getting it. But the way you get it is always in an unexpected way, right? Let's just say you want a certain relationship or you want a certain person to be in your life. You may get the opportunity and you won't get that specific person, but you will get some sort of other example or another. Maybe it could be a group of people or it could be a different person entirely that you weren't expecting. And that's what I've noticed with being closer than you think. When you're closer than you think to the destination or the goal, you always have to know you have to push the goalpost further. And then you always have to know that whenever you're at said goal, it's always going to come in a way that you were never going to expect or never think. So always be prepared for the unexpected, and always try to take that in stride, because I know how people can get, and I know how I can get when it comes to being spoiled, that stuff, right? Because I always want things in a certain way, and whenever I don't see it in that certain way, I always tend to give up. Or let's just say I start something or I'm doing something continuously and then I notice a result. I'm like, well, I didn't expect it to come in this way. I can't believe that it was actually gonna uh, be this type of example. But that is what happens, and yeah, that's just my piece of advice for being closer than you think. Anyways, this is just John O. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.